Welcome to the ship.
Okay, for some reason the intro is not working.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Hey y'all! Yeah, my intro was not working there for a second. Meow meow Putin cat. Meow meow to Connie Clary. Purr, purr to JR Trucking. How is everybody today? I hope everybody's doing good. At least the time I was paying attention it didn't start late. Goodness, I hope I don't have too many headlines to deal with this time. The tabs look overwhelming, but actually a couple of them are just like for reference. Hey, Miss Frosty. Meow. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Had to turn the fan away because it has a tendency to dry out my throat when I'm trying to talk. And I still haven't gotten my happy ass to the doctor to get a refill on my inhaler. So my breathing will still be shit. I'm not great. Yeah, a family member of mine decided they were going to just blow up the rest of the family, so to speak. So, yeah. You ever meet people who, their thing, the weird way they get their rocks off is, by causing problems? I'm not entirely sure they can feel things like a normal person can, so they have to create drama in order to feel something inside. So, I'm dealing with the fallout of that. And dealing with a lighter that doesn't want to work. So. Anywho. Alright. Yeah, YouTube, yes, but you don't expect it from your own cousin, and you don't expect them to do this and target you and your daughter. That one I feel like is a little different. You know what I mean? Most of YouTube I would almost expect it. But even most of the people in YouTube know you don't fuck with people's kids. You don't mess with them. You know what I mean? Usually that's the red line nobody crosses. And is frowned upon publicly if they do. So, I've been dealing with that since the day after Election Day. And everybody lives so far apart, it's kind of hard to do anything. Anyway. Let's share the screen. Now, it'll work. There we go. Okay, it was just being silly for a minute. All right. So let me go over here, and we'll start here. And like I said, I do try to find headlines that aren't connected to this, but my little thing right here, where it gives you, news. Well, I figure nobody wants to hear about hypertension necessarily. Oh, it might, I guess. But yeah, it's so used to what I want. The algorithm, pretty much, it's mostly the Middle East. Oh shit, Heritage Foundation shit. You know what? Fuck it. Let's add that to the list. Anyway, oh, let's hide that thing. Palestinian Christians despair as Gaza homeland destroyed by Israel's war. And that's something a lot of people are not even talking about, because a lot of people think this is just a religious war, and they kind of want to play it like it is, and it's really actually not. Otherwise, they wouldn't be killing Christians and destroying their churches. They have literally been targeting the Christian churches. When this war first started, one of the places they targeted was an 800-year-old church. I'm not exaggerating. In fact, let me see if I can find it. Let me find it, because I don't remember the name of it, so hold on. I think it's 800-year-old church in Gaza. Oh, for God's fucking sake, my keyboard is a piece of shit. My keyboard falls asleep, so the first button I push doesn't always work. All right, October of 2023. So let's see. There's a mosque. War knows no religion. Church. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it tells this one. War knows no religion. Gaza's oldest church shelters Muslims and Christians. Well, that is very nice of them. That was from October 16th of 2023. Yeah, I think they end up taking out one of these churches. One of them was like an old church that wasn't even being used. Let's see. If I knew the name of this church, it would be easier. Oh, oldest Christian church in Gaza damaged by airstrike. There we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. I just didn't remember the name of it. October the 20th. Fuck. Let's see. Palestinians search for... Really? We're really doing this? Fine. Here. Fuck off. Thing. Greek Orthodox Saint Porphyrius? I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. The oldest church still in use in Gaza, damaged in airstrike. Yeah. So yeah, when I say these things, I'm not shitting you. Like, that is like their thing. So I mean, I'm glad they're bringing up the fact that Christians are in despair over there, but a lot of people are like, well, fuck those Muslims. So like, well, it's not just Muslims though. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. When Khalil thinks back to his childhood in the Gaza Strip, the Greek Orthodox Church of Saint Porphyrius looms large in his memory. Let's go by the first name. Khalil, now 29, remembers the weddings, the Sunday school classes, the music lessons, and a visit to the tiny graveyard. So this is not necessarily a lot of up-to-date stuff. Well, hold on, there might be some numbers here. They have been deeply angered by the current Democratic Party's administration's failure to hold Israel accountable for the war, which has resulted in the deaths of more than 43,391 Palestinians. We know that it was way more than that, but whatever. And thousands more who are missing and presumed dead under the rubble. See, that's why part of what I was saying. The 43,000 might be what the bodies they can count that they have found, not the ones they couldn't find. And more than 100,000 people have been injured. That number, I believe. And nearly all the enclave's population of 2.3 million are displaced. I believe that number too. The death count is the only one I question. As president of Israel's mightiest ally, Joe Biden, I'm sure there's some sarcasm in that, has persisted with his unwavering support for the country, refusing to halt military aid, and Kamala Harris has not strayed from this position. Many Arab Americans felt compelled to wash their hands of the Democrats in this election and vote for the Green Party candidate Jill Stein. I don't blame them. Unfortunately, Oklahoma wouldn't let me vote for her because she wasn't on the ballot here. Oklahoma's a corrupt fucking place. But yeah. So just in case anyone thinks it's just the Muslims, nah, it's not. It's not just the Muslims. It never was. Anyway. So this is a headline like 15, 20 years ago I would never have expected to see, but here we are. The Taliban will attend a UN climate conference for the first time. Fucking weird world we live in. Let's get into it. Let's see. The Taliban will attend the UN climate conference for the first time since the takeover of Afghanistan in 2021. The country's National Environmental Agency said, I did not know that Afghanistan had a National Environmental Agency. Gonna be honest, did not know that. That's wild. The conference, known as the COP29, begins Monday in Azerbaijan and is one of the most important multilateral talks to include the Taliban, who do not have an official recognition as the legitimate rulers of Afghanistan. Well, granted, but the fact the Taliban wants to go to a climate conference, it's a sign of the times, my friends. It's fucking weird. Hold on just 1 second real quick. Oh, let me see what everybody's saying. Johnny Somali. I will have to check into that. I don't know who that is. Sounds funny though. Oh wait. Is that the YouTuber who was doing a bunch of stupid shit and got himself arrested in like Korea? Netanyahu doesn't care. We've established. Oh, I know, but I know there's still people, there are holdouts out there who think this is just a religious war. No, it's under the guise of a religious war. Now they want to take some to the West. Oh yeah, they've been attacking the West Bank. They just haven't talked about it as much as Gaza. But like even last year, they were throwing some bombs at the West Bank, and the news was like, yeah, there's not even Hamas there. They were just doing it for the fuck of it, honestly, which is pretty gross, I think. Anyway, so yeah, fucking Taliban UN conference. You know what? Fuck it.
What a weird eyeball. I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
I'm gonna camp your food.
the kids are being silly. I'm assuming camping someone's stuff is a video game term. Prime Minister's aide said suspected of blackmailing IDF officer to alter records from October 7th. So apparently there's more to this. I thought we read this a while back, but I guess it's another article catching us up on it. Top aide to Benjamin Netanyahu, aides plural, are suspected of trying to blackmail an IDF officer in the military secretariat of the Prime Minister's office in order to modify minutes of top-level security discussions in the hours before the Hamas attack. Modifying top-level discussions hours before. That right there, I feel like that should make all the firing and the weapons shit stop. This is such bullshit. The reports provided new detail of a slew of security-related probes into the PMO that have been revealed in recent days, which is largely under a court-mandated gag order. Fucking bet. I'm sure it is. Meanwhile, Attorney General Bahrav Miera? I don't know. I'll go with Miera, I guess. Is approved an investigation into Netanyahu himself as the scandals around his office multiplied. The Marav newspaper reported law enforcement officials cited in Haaretz and Ynet accused the police of trying to minimize the severity of the scandals. A top political figure cited in Channel 12 said the investigations into the PMO are only a reaffirmation of what everyone already knew. The Prime Minister's people didn't shy away from any means to change the narrative and exonerate the premier from the failures that led to the war. Yeah, because they're all guilty. And they know they'll all go to jail together, possibly. Or be attacked by their people. Netanyahu's office pushed back on the allegations, saying they were another lie in the web of lies that some are trying to spin about the PMO. This lady looks like she's been through it. Fuck. When you're a piece of shit war criminal, like, I think it starts to wear on you. She looks rough. She looks like she's been on a drinking bender for days. Apparently this is their Attorney General Mirara. Yeah. Looks rough. The office has been the subject of several probes whose existence was disclosed only recently. Law enforcement carried out a highly unusual raid on Netanyahu's office last Saturday. Hebrew media says, though it wasn't clear which investigation that was related to. The fact they're not even sure which one it's related to says so much about this guy. Like, we don't know which investigation made them raid his place. Fuck. I've never seen anyone act such like a psycho trying to hold on to his office. This guy, I wish he would just like crash and burn faster so he wouldn't have killed so many people. He's crashing and burning in slow motion. And it's such a fucking weird thing to see. Several reports on Thursday night said Netanyahu's office separately collected sensitive videos of both an IDF officer who worked at the PMO and recently fired Defense Minister Gallant. That's his defense minister that he fired because he didn't like the way Netanyahu was doing crazy shit. who was spared publicly with the premier over the conduct of the war. So, several reports on Thursday said that Netanyahu's office had separately collected sensitive video about Gallant. Keep that in mind, because this is going to play a part in another article that's going to come up in a minute. So keep this part in mind, if you will. Gallant's firing isn't the end of Netanyahu's campaign against his ex-defense minister. That's no fucking shit. He's proved that. Wait till you see what's all over fucking Twitter. I'm going to show you. You're going to fucking shit. Which one is it? It's this one. So this is a spin that's going on Twitter. Iranian hacking group Handala hacked Gallant's personal computer and released images. Handala says he should answer to the audience with a few questions. So apparently this is Gallant with like some young lady. I guess it says that she was born in 1996. Well, to me that sounds young, but it's of legal age. But apparently that's not. Oh, wait, who is this supposed to be? His daughter? Oh, I think so. Oh, his daughter committed. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Let me look at this real quick. All right. So the question is to explain the secret relationship between Adi Sabag and Gallant in the Red Room on the 16th floor of the Makhal Tower. I don't know what that is. Leaked some classified data about Gallant and the online spying and all these mobile at the time. Explaining the secret relationship between Netanyahu's trusted doctor and Benny Gantz at the Savoy Hotel. The suicide of Noga, Gantz's daughter, after hearing the story of the secret relationship from her father, who's been seeking more information from Bibi. So I'm not entirely sure I understand this. But apparently I'm guessing this girl must have committed suicide. This dude's getting chest nibbled or whatever. Maybe this is supposed to be his wife. I don't know. So I'm not exactly sure, but apparently some weird shit's been going on. But they're claiming an Iranian hacking group released all these pictures and shit of Gallant. Well, clearly not, because that other article said that Netanyahu's office had been collecting videos and shit about the guy and some IDF officer. And this headline right here saying that Gallant's fire is not the end of Netanyahu's campaign against the guy. So I really don't believe Iranian hackers did it. I don't. And that's the story they're going to spin. But that's not the story I believe. Because if Netanyahu fired him because Gallant was saying, hey, you're fucking up, you're being crazy, you're not doing this right, why would Iran go after the guy who got fired? It would make sense to go after Netanyahu, obviously. So, yeah, it's not Iran. It's the Prime Minister. Gallant wasn't present at the Knesset on Thursday as the plenum, I don't know what that is, voted on a controversial government shakeup that followed his firing as defense minister. Gallant didn't want to raise his hand in support of Israel Katz's appointment as his replacement, but he didn't want to vote against it either, and therefore was absent. On Friday, Gallant and Katz met at the handover ceremony and then sat down for a transition meeting. Katz is a fucking nutcase. But anyway, Katz is the man who paved Gallant's way to the Lufkid party in 2019 after Gallant fell out with the Moshe Kalan, leader of the Kolno party. They got some weird names over there. Whatever. I'm glad y'all can see this shit too. Yeah, I think he's just dying inside. He doesn't even want to hug this guy. Coalition whip Katz, who over the past week penalized some lawmakers who had considered voting against the government's will. Oh yeah, heaven forbid. Doubtless wrote down Gallant's absence in his notebook to be continued. Netanyahu's the kind of person, he's going to destroy anybody's life he can as it crosses him. It's fucking crazy. Fucking Ryan Walters again. Figured we'd give us some Oklahoma news for a minute. So, Oklahoma Superintendent Walters issues a memo on dismantling the U.S. Department of Education. And I'm pretty sure they want to replace it with the Heritage Foundation. But we'll get into that in a minute. Because, yeah. I forgot. Someone left my door open. My daughter left my door open, so I'm going to hear people talking. Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters issued a memo on Thursday addressing the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education proposed by President-elect Donald Trump. In the memo, Walters outlines 5 areas that he says would restore authority to the states if the U.S. Department of Education is eliminated. Oklahoma's not doing so good on its own. We are 49th in education. So we're not really doing so good. And we're pretty much left to our own devices. So, thank goodness Deidre's almost out of school. Championing parents' rights, ending social indoctrination in the classrooms, protecting patriotism in the curriculum, and stopping illegal immigrants' impact on schools. Well, I'm not entirely sure what immigration impacts there is on schools, but okay. And blocking foreign interference from our schools. What foreign interference is in our schools? I don't want to hear these people talk about having no foreign interference. They have happily welcomed foreign interference in our government. I don't want to hear this from them. No. If you're okay with your politicians having dual citizenship and getting fuck tons of money from APAC, I don't want to hear you going, I don't want foreign interference in our schools. I don't want to fucking hear it. No. Fuck all that. Complaining about foreign interference in your schools, that boat sailed. It's gone. I don't want to hear it. I look forward to working hand in hand with the Trump administration to help dismantle the decades of damage the federal government has inflicted on public education. This is what Ryan Walters said on Twitter. The memo can be read here. What the fuck? Why not? See what it looks like. I'll scroll up a bit at a time so everybody can see it. The federal government has hijacked our education system using taxpayer dollars to impose harmful policies and control what is taught in our schools. I would love an example. Like when they were talking about doing Common Core many years ago, like Oklahoma tossed it out. So I don't know really what the fuck he's talking about here. This memo addresses 5 major areas where eliminating the U.S. Department of Education and moving to block grants would block grants? How would you block grants? That's giving money to the schools to help. And would restore authority to the states. States pretty much have a lot of power. There's not really a lot of federally mandated teachings. That's why all the schools aren't exactly the same. But whatever. Okay. Let's say allowing communities, not Washington bureaucrats, to decide what is best for the children. That sentence by itself is fine. Championing parents' rights. The Biden administration labeled parents as a threat and tried to silence their concerns. That is a problem. I will agree with that. States, when restored control, will ensure parents' voices are not just heard, but respected. Okay, that part I can get. Like, that's fine. Ending social indoctrination in the classrooms. Federal funds have been used to force radical agendas like promoting boys and the girls sports and pushing divisive gender and racial ideologies. With block grants, states can reject these mandates and focus on real education over propaganda. Well, you don't have to block grants. You can just not accept them. Like, you usually have to apply for a grant. A school usually has to apply for the grant. So it's not, you can just like not apply for it. I mean, I agree with having real education instead of propaganda, but Oklahoma doesn't really have a whole lot of this going on like they think it does. Let's see. 3, protecting patriotism in the curriculum. Schools are pressured to teach books that undermine American values and ignore the truth about American history. The irony of that is that these guys have also been fighting to not have much of any Native American or Black history taught because they think it's propaganda. So Basically, he just wants white history taught, and that's it. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I mean, sometimes you can't help but see what you see. History should include everything. Let's see. Let's see. Choose about American history. All right. By removing federal overreach, states can make sure students learn a patriotic curriculum that respects our country and honors our shared heritage. I really don't think anyone's actually stopping anyone from teaching American history. I'm just going to be honest about that. Stopping illegal immigration impact on schools. Open border policy floods schools with unregulated demands, stretching resources meant for American kids. States, and free from federal overreach, could manage these impacts in ways that protect classrooms and prioritize communities. Blocking foreign interference in our schools. Let's get into this part. Federal policies tie funding to outside agendas, allowing China and other adversaries to infiltrate our education system. Without federal strings, states could reject foreign interference and ensure schools only promote American values. I have to admit, I have not seen any signs that China has infiltrated Oklahoma schools. I haven't. I haven't helped my daughter with her schooling in like a couple of months. She seems to have got it under control. But anytime I have helped her with her schoolwork, I have not seen any signs that China is like trying to influence her. Like, I would love for Ryan Walters or somebody to hand me some like school books or like some little like school curriculum printouts that show me that China is influencing the kids. I mean, come the fuck. This man is wanting you to look for boogeymen everywhere. Oh, be scared, be scared. China's gonna get your kids. Okay, cool. Cool story, bro. Anyway, but there's that silliness. Anywho. So, okay, I don't know. Why is this not in proper order? Apparently, one of my tabs got closed down. I don't know why. But it was an article that Trump was saying that he was not going to have Nikki Haley or Mike Pompeo in his cabinet. He like rejected the idea completely. And so I was going to say, aw, she was trying to be a pick-me that didn't get picked. She was a psycho bitch who was writing her name and a message on bombs to be dropped on civilians, and she didn't get picked by Trump. Aw, tough shits. What? Yeah, she wrote, finish them. That's a psycho-ass thing to write on a fucking bomb to be dropped on civilians. That is so tacky. Her crazy-ass behavior, and she doesn't understand. I bet she doesn't understand why she didn't get picked by Trump. Because, bitch, you're fucking nuts. God, I hope someone drops something on her. Like a house. Next article. Why does Israel play in European football competitions? For the same reason they demand to participate in Eurovision. Because we all fucking know they're actually Europeans. That's why. The clash in Amsterdam following a Europa League match between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv demonstrated Israeli football's unique position. Here's what you need to know. Where is it exactly is Israel? Well, we fucking know that, so. Yeah, they're basically just talking about them being in it. But, yeah. It's because they're pretty much all descended from Europeans. There's not a much native blood in them over there. Okay. So this one we're going to have some fun with real quick. Make sure I got my more or less speaking voice together. I don't have a speaking voice. Here's another cat. I don't need more cats in here. Fuck off. Jeez, please. All right. Why did you wait till everybody was gone and meow at me then? Go away. Go find your dad. All right. So they always love pretending they have found some like underground bunker with stuff. It's hilarious. With 4,500 cubic meters of concrete, IDF dismantled a Hezbollah compound beneath the cemetery. First off, they absolutely love digging up cemeteries. They fucking love it. They have done this a lot. Anyway, that's an interesting fucking picture with the lightning there. They're going for dramatic effect. Yeah, Dankers is meowing at me while I'm trying to live stream. Crazy cat. The IDF's 36th Division, in cooperation with special units, probably American, and military intelligence, dismantled an underground Hezbollah compound under a cemetery. That sounds kind of difficult to do. Under a cemetery sounds kind of tricky. Like, you'd have to be sure to, have proper, support so that the tunnels don't cave in with the graves and shit. Command room. Oh, it's got command rooms, living quarters, a weapons storage facility filled with weapons. We're gonna examine those weapons in a few minutes. And combat equipment were located by the IDF and the underground command center. It's funny how they just find underground command centers everywhere. While operating in this area, soldiers from the Shaldag unit identified several tunnel shafts leading to the compound, which led to the exposure of the full tunnel. Tunnel located 1.5 kilometers from Israel. Soldiers from the Yahom unit, these are really hard to read, the Golani Brigade, the 282 Brigade, and logistic support of the 36th Division, investigated and dismantled the compound, which extended 1 kilometer in length and reached 2 meters in height. The tunnel was okay, so hold on. Let me look at this again. All right. So the compound was 1 kilometer in length. I don't know if that measures up or not. Anyway, so they have just torn up this cemetery, which, if you look at it, supposedly this is where they're digging at the tunnel area. But look at all the surrounding area of the cemetery. I mean, you see debris everywhere, and trash. You see trash and debris everywhere. Wow. The IDF soldiers dismantling a Hezbollah terror compound beneath the cemetery in southern Lebanon, November the 10th. Hundreds of trucks and concrete mixers poured approximately 4,500 cubic meters of concrete into the terror compound to dismantle the tunnel. So we're going to look at the video. Let's start here. I don't have the sound on because, it's kind of funny they're censoring their faces now. Even though these people will post themselves smiling with, someone who's handcuffed or beaten on the ground. So they don't mind showing their face on the internet that way, though. But, yeah. Look at all this debris. This is supposed to be a cemetery, so it's like they just shredded the whole fucking place. Anyway. Let me take a look at this real quick. Hold on, I missed something. These look like recently constructed concrete buildings. Anyway. Trying to go frame by frame, because they do kind of move things along really fast in these videos. Yeah, these look like they've been newly constructed. Huh. Oh well. Here in a second, we'll go frame by frame. That looks like a painting canvas. That's kind of a weird place to have that. I don't see why that's there, but yeah, look at that. The corner is torn off here. I don't even see how that would be useful. Why would that be broken off? I mean, they just absolutely shredded these graves. All these flat pieces you see are part of cemetery headstones and the crypts. I don't know if these are considered crypts. I think they are. But yeah, they just broke up a whole bunch of pieces. And like I said, it's not the first time they have actually shredded a Arab cemetery. It's like kind of their shtick, to be honest. And this looks like the foundation of a house. Like what, maybe this was a basement. You know how cemeteries sometimes have like a little building on the premises that like the landscaper or the cemetery person who keeps up the maintenance stays in? Like this looks like that could have been like a little house for that or something. But also, why is there like fresh concrete bags over here? These look like those little quickcrete bags. Which kind of coincides with those buildings that look like those fresh concrete buildings that look like they just got constructed. So this seems like a whole mixed mash of shit going on. Anyway, so yeah, they stopped there. So you don't actually see them get into the tunnel. You just see them outside and then suddenly in here. So we don't actually know if the entrance is actually connected to this. They could have stopped camera and gone into another tunnel somewhere else. That's how I see it. But even so, let's keep looking. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so we have ourselves, I don't know if these are back here, but they look kind of like those little pallet things, those little flat things of like mason jars, like if you're doing canning. It's kind of what these look like, but I can't tell. These green and white boxes are tons of sweet corn. So this actually looks like, someone is saving it food. And I don't know about you, but it seems kind of weird to leave a grenade launcher, like, just sitting on a box of sweet corn. That's kind of fucking weird. Like, that's not really where I would have kept it, but whatever, I guess. Now, I don't know how many people still wear this type of camo. It's not very up to date. But it's awfully fucking clean, though. And if you'll notice, it's very hard to see any of the labels on these crates to see like what's supposed to be in them or where they came from. I was looking to try to see if I could see who put these here. Oh, now these parts I wanted to get to. Let me see how close I get. And there's an inventory sheet, but there's no way they're going to let us see it. Excuse me. So we're looking at 16 millimeter mortar shells right here. Or mortars. I don't know if they're mortar shells. They're just mortars. And I found something interesting. I decided to look these up. Now, the year on this, let me see if I can get a little closer, says 2007, I believe. Apparently they have a manufacturing date on them. Yeah, 2007. I can just barely see it. So these were made the same year my daughter was. Or the year she was born. So these have been around for almost 18 years. Which seems kind of weird because, like, why are they in a crate? Why has somebody waited 18 years to do anything with this? That seems kind of fucking bizarre to me. But I found these interesting because I'm gonna go share something with you real quick. Hold on a second. Yikes. That's cringe. Oh, hello, ancient one. Meow meow. One of the reasons I stand by it. Say to myself, right? Haha. Hi, gorilla. All right, hold on a second. Oop. Let me go and find it because I sent the article to a friend so I could go get it later. So hold on just a second. Let me find it. It's Bill Burr. Gotta go up higher. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. So this is an article from April 12th, 2007. Look familiar? Let's see. All right. To the left, which military says are Iranian manufactured. They say they are, but, it's nothing Iranian looking about it. I mean, it's only said in English. Oh, they don't make this very big to see. And they were supposedly found in a Mercedes parked outside a Sunni house last week in 2007. in in Baghdad. So all right, and these are the same ones. The manufacturing year on these is 2006. So I thought it was very interesting. These look just like the ones that were found in Baghdad. They suspect Iranian made, but they're not absolutely sure. They just think it was. And so these are the same ones. Excuse me. Did I only share this? I did only share that. Okay. I was supposed to share the whole thing. Sorry. Let me get the whole screen. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so I think it's very interesting the exact ones are found supposedly in an underground bunker. And just about as old. Because, again, why would they... If their manufacturing date is 2007, why would they wait 17 years and not use these? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why, if there is constant shit going on between Lebanon and Israel and all this other shit, why the hell were these never used? They look brand new and clean. And it doesn't appear to be a single bit of dust on them. Not a bit. So. Oh, for some reason this isn't wanting to work correctly. So I'm going to have to keep touching the button because it'll automatically pause. Now, these I found very interesting. Because these look a little bit out of date to me. Now, there are two main suspects I have for something that looks this vintage. Because you can kind of see that it doesn't look super brand new. It looks kind of dull. And these are, I do believe, RPG-7 rocket-propelled grenades. Now, these look similar to either the 1965 Bulgarian ones or the original Chinese Type 69 85 millimeter RPG-7s. But they somewhat updated these back in like the 80s and 90s. So these actually look, I don't know, these look kind of old school, to be honest. And it's kind of, I don't know. This looks like it was made in 72. Look at these things. They look tarnished and old. Like somebody had this like in a basement somewhere. And I mean, why was it not used? Don't you think that's a bit odd? All these weapons and they weren't used? I mean, you could, like the other crate that I showed you that had those mortar shells, the wood looks brand new. This wood looks aged. Clean but aged. I don't know why it's trying to automatically pause. Also, I looked it up. I couldn't find any that had their maker's mark going the length of it. Most all of these are made with the maker of it going around it. Around the front of this. Not going lengthways. I could not find a manufacturer that made them lengthways on here. The maker's mark or whatever you want to call it. So I thought that was super strange. So I can't tell you what country this originates from. I don't know who made these. But I thought it was a bit weird, so I thought I'd share it with you. I also attempted to look up this brand right here, these little grenades. I can't find that brand anywhere. But maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe I should have looked under like military contracts. I probably would have found it there. I don't know. But maybe we can find out like whose that belongs to. Because all these weapons had to come from somebody. Somebody had to put these here. Now, also realize that Israel has gotten a fuck ton of weapons shipped to them recently. So it would make sense that they could just have a shit ton of weapons they could just put somewhere and say, look what we found. It looks like it says DEPO on the box. Depot. Which seems kind of like a weird name for it, but whatever. Oop, that jumped. Hold on. Now this says it is 1,000 cartridges. 7.62 by something with a 4. That strap is covering it, so I can't tell what that number is. So I'm assuming 7.62s are NATO rounds. But I think it's 7.62 by this 6.4, 7.4. I don't fucking know. I'm sure somebody out there does. I know 7.62 by 3.9. Like, I know that one, but not this one. So I also try to use my Google Translate to translate these markings, and it couldn't. Like, it was scribble and it wouldn't translate. So that's kind of shisty to me. So thought I'd share that. And they're moving so fast, I can't see what it says on the boxes. But almost all of it's in English. So I thought that was kind of, wild. I did try to translate this part up here. And, like, I don't, that's top part, I don't even think that's a word. I don't think that's a thing. So, yeah. One of these said it was someone, like Muhammad's shield or something. I don't know. It was weird. Like, half the people over there are named Muhammad. I know that's going to piss somebody off. Sorry. Now, this is about as dusty as I would expect. But also, they could have been stacked on top of other stuff. They got ammo boxes here. And these are pretty up to date. These are pretty modern ammo boxes because the ammo boxes my dad would collect, those were metal. Like that olive green metal with that weird little thing you pull and it makes that clicking sound. I mean, you know the ones I'm talking about. And I'm sorry, but bring me back to 1996. Is this a fucking car club? Is this something you put on your fucking steering wheel so nobody can steal your car? Because that's what that looks like. It looks like the club for your car. That's fucking unexpected thing to find in there. Like, what the fuck? And crates of juice up here. That's a lot of dust. Yeah, the ammo is nice and shiny, though. And these are some brand new looking helmets. But that camouflage is kind of old school, to be honest. This was like someone went to like the military surplus store and just went nuts. Ow, my eye. Got smoke in my eye. Yeah, I mean, how often do people even use it? All of we've seen footage of Taliban and, what is it? ISIS and Hamas. Have you ever seen them wear helmets like this? Because I have not. Not a single once have I seen them wear helmets like this. Soldiers in the early 90s did. They still do, but the camo's different. But I've not seen anybody wear helmets like this in 25 years. Like, I don't know. But I've never seen any Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Hamas wear anything like this. Never. All right, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to share that little bit with you there. Next article. Nope. Go up a little higher. This is fucking hilarious. They actually tried to scare people with this last year, and I guess the story just didn't take off like they thought it would. Actually, shit. One of my tabs I had open as references is not open, which is kind of odd, actually. Oh, we'll get to this in a minute. But I was looking up, like, basically the anatomy of RPG 7, which is basically what those are. So let me see if I can find it again, because I don't know why. Let's see. Diagram. There we go. This should be the RPG 7 here. This is what it should be. Hello? Or is it 2? I think it's a 7, but it should be the 2. Let's, for goodness sake, let me see the fucking diagram. That is not what I fucking clicked on. I want the diagram. Oh, this is the RPG2. I want, because I think that's although the shape is similar. Actually, it's probably close enough if I'm being honest. So there isn't a lot of difference. RPG2s, I mean, it's basically the same shape as the thing you saw. It's just that it had a little more aerodynamic shape to it. So these twits wanting to believe that they're going to put fentanyl into, like, missiles or something. Like, I don't know. Chemical-based weapons. What the fuck? Iran is believed to have weaponized pharmaceutical agents to kill or incapacitate. These chemical weapons affect a victim's central nervous system. Yeah. These are especially a problem if Iran supplies them. Yeah, they're claiming Iran again. Supply to militant allies like Hezbollah and Hamas. Iran has developed chemical weapons based on synthetic opioids such as fentanyl, warns a U.S. expert. Powerful agents could incapacitate soldiers or civilians when added to grenades or artillery. I would imagine that would probably just burn up. What do you do? Just put like a little dime baggy amount of fentanyl on a grenade and throw it? Are they talking about hand grenades or like rocket propelled grenades? And that's why because in the pictures they're showing this, which is also one of the things I question. Do you remember the RPG I showed y'all? The end of it was silver. The ones they seem to use are red. So, and it's a little bit different color. So, anyway, but yeah, like where would they put it? It'll just get burned up here. This whole thing explodes. I mean, you run a chance of just burning up your fentanyl. So I find this to be a silly scare tactic, honestly. Pharmaceutical-based agents, or PBA, are essentially weaponized medicines that incapacitate or kill their victims depending on exposure. Iran may have given BPAs to its proxies, which could help them kidnap Israeli troops and civilians. Which is wild, because think about it. They tell you that a teensy-tiny little piece of fentanyl can overdose you, right? That's what they say. So if you're putting enough on it to throw, I guess, spray everywhere or something, like, that sounds like you're just going to kind of overdose everybody. But anybody who's close enough that would get a little of that powder on them would be killed by the impact of the explosion. Like, the explosion is going to shoot out further than the little bit of powder is going to do. This is such a silly fucking propaganda piece. Fuck. At the time of growing regional instability in the Middle East, largely the result of the militancy of the Iran proxies, the threat posed by Iran's weaponized PBA program can no longer be overlooked. They tried to sell this fucking story last year. I guess it just didn't take off well enough, so they're trying it again. If they were going to do it, they would have done it. Like, and besides, it sounds kind of expensive. Chemicals based on pharmaceutical compounds, which may or may not have legitimate medical uses and can cause severe illness or death when misused. They include opioids such as fentanyl and tranquilizers for animals. Now, animal tranquilizer makes a little more fucking sense. I mean, if you wanted to, kidnap somebody. But again, if you're right next to the grenade, overdosing is the last of your fucking problem. Like, that's the least of it, I should say. It's the least of your problems, because you're going to get blown to bits. These drugs affect victims' central nervous system, we fucking know. Once inhaled, these agents cause victims to lose full consciousness, enable forces to deploy them to advance quickly and quietly or take captive the unconscious victim. If someone's throwing mortars at me, I can assure you that the least of my worries is getting drugged. It's the least of my fucking worries. Oh, good grief. Israel's new defense minister, that's that weird Katz guy, says the country has defeated Hezbollah. Well, good. Then fucking leave. Israel's new appointed minister of defense said on Sunday his country has defeated Hezbollah, noting that the elimination of the Lebanese terrorist organization leader Nasrallah was the crowning achievement. That happened in September. That happened September 27th. We're in November. Nasrallah was killed in an airstrike on September 27th when Israel Defense Forces attacked Iran-backed groups' headquarters in southern Beirut. Last month, the Israeli military said it eliminated Hashem Safieddine, who was widely expected to take control of Hezbollah after Nasrallah died. Now it's our job to continue to put pressure in order to bring about the fruits of that victory, says Defense Minister Israel Katz. So if you've already eliminated Hezbollah, you're just going to continue to put pressure on to bring about the fruits of that. And what is the fruits of that victory? Does that mean stealing land? Is that what that means? Because this sounds like just a conquering thing to steal land. Because they're continuously... Let me update this real quick. See how long ago this was published. 1 day ago. Okay. What? Mike Walls. Oh, never mind. I was thinking... Never mind. I missaw that name. I about freaked out. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah. So they're saying they defeated Hezbollah. Well, I think they should leave. If they did their job, they should go. Although this kind of reminds me of George Bush when he stood on that what was it? Like a fucking Navy destroyer. And it was like 2002. And he was like, yeah, mission accomplished. We defeated them. And then we stayed for another 20 years. Now, this definitely made me fucking wonder. All right. Israel's air defense system to be deployed in Germany next year. Is Germany expecting company next year by chance? What the fuck? This is one of the things that Israel has bragged about, being able to shoot missiles out of the sky. I think it's part of their Iron Dome system thing. So Israel's air defense system. Okay. In 2025, the Israeli Arrow 3 air defense system will be deployed in Germany. You can see how hard I'm rolling my eyes and looking confused. Reports the Israeli Ministry of Defense. The Arrow 3 system is designed to combat ballistic missiles. I guess they're expecting not to need it next year, I guess. The Ministry of Defense of Israel and Germany have begun joint preparations and coordination for the initial deployment of Israel's Arrow 3 system on German soil in 2025. Okay. Why do I have a feeling some weird shit's going to kick off? According to the report, a meeting was held at Israel's aerospace industries between Moshe Patel, I guess. I think it's Moshe because there was a dude called Moshe Dayan and he had the same first name, so I think it's Moshe. Moshe Patel, director of the Israeli Missile Defense Organization. They have an organization for everything. Colonel Kueper, and project manager of the Arrow 3 project for Germany, and Guy Bar-Lev, head of Missile and Space Department at IAI. Confusing letters. I don't even like all our acronyms. The 2-day session included discussions with Israeli Defense Industries, MLM Department, ETA, Eldit Systems, and MBDA, Germany. A lot of shit I don't recognize there. What is known about the Arrow air defense system? The Israeli Ministry of Defense writes that the Arrow system, which includes the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 interceptors, was developed in cooperation between Israel and the United States to combat the threat of long-range ballistic missiles. The system demonstrates its effectiveness against Iranian missile attacks on April 14th and October 1st of 2024. Arrow is considered to be one of the most advanced defense systems using modern technology. But why the fuck would Germany need this? Like, we're not going to have World War One and Two again, are we? Anytime there's a war, Germany has to just absolutely be fucking involved. Like, no, I want to be in it. I want to be in it. Hold on. Let me grab a pack of cigarettes real quick. Hold on. All right. All right. I don't know about y'all. Let me go see what y'all got to say, because why the fuck would Germany need something like this? Oh, hello, digital pollution. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it must be the 5.4. That's what, because I saw a 4 on there, but I didn't know what it went to. So 7.62 by 5.4. So that's what that cartridge box was saying. Okay. So that I did not know. Okay, yeah, because I know the AK-47 does 7.62 by 3.9. I know that for reasons. But the 5.4 I did not recognize. So, okay. I always figured the 7.62s are like NATO rounds. I think I remember my dad telling me that. Let's see. It's a barrel and a wooden handle. Not the car club. I know, it had the fucking car club. What the fuck was that even about? Who has that anymore? Oh, hello, digital pollution. How are you? Just come to say hi before I go to bed. Aw, well, I'm glad you came by. 8 likes. Woohoo. Let's see. The 5.4 is old cartridge and larger. Huh. That's an older car. Like, does anybody use those 5.4s anymore? Because I'm wondering if some of those were just leftover equipment in some basement nobody was using. I'm sure they got more ammo types. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But, all right. But yeah, that's fucking weird. Like, because supposedly they're under attack all the time. Why would they send their defense system to Germany? Nothing interesting has happened in Germany in like 45 years. Because USSR, one could argue that's some kind of interesting shit. Not good, but interesting. But still. Huh. I think I'm going to leave this up and make a TikTok video out of it later. Fuck. Heritage Foundation's Esther addendum to Project 2025 isn't really about anti-Semitism. Okay. Few think tank initiatives have garnered as much public attention as the Heritage Foundation's set of policies proposals called Project 2025, a conservative vision aimed at gutting funding for the education, attacking the LGBTQ, which I don't know to what extent, so I don't know if they're being melodramatic or not. But if you're gutting the education department, I mean, I think anything's up for grabs at this point. Cutting overtime pay for workers and passing tax benefits for the rich. Yeah, I've been hearing they're going to, cut pay, and I even heard they were going to cut benefits for soldiers. Trump has disavowed this project in 2025 in his campaign, but now he has won the presidency. Most observers expect the plan will make up a large measure of his agenda. We don't know. This is, after all, an opinion. So we don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but we shall see how it plays out. Because, yeah, a lot of the Republicans were saying, oh, I don't know anything about Project 2025. And then one of our senators named, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, Senator Dom, D-A-H-M, apparently posted on Twitter that something about being excited about Project 2025. And I'm like, that's fucking weird when Trump said he didn't know nothing about it, but okay. But nearly a year after its release, the foundation has expanded to incorporate a new issue. On the anniversary of October 7th, the Heritage released an initiative called Project Esther, reportedly to take on a real and undeniable problem, the rise of anti-Semitism. Now, if they are going to replace, if Heritage Foundation is going to replace the Department of Education that's getting gutted. This is the kind of anything that speaks bad about the Israeli government is considered anti-Semitism. So they're concerned supposedly about our kids being indoctrinated, but this is going to be indoctrination. Telling that, talking about all this stuff and telling them they're not allowed to say certain things about Israeli governments or anything. That is indoctrination. They want you indoctrinated. They just want you indoctrinated with the stuff that they want you to be with, Though a bit convoluted and repetitive, Project Esther argues that the movement for Palestinian liberation is part of a global Hamas support network. So apparently, if you want people to be free in that country, apparently you are part of a Hamas network. Well, first off, I almost wish I might actually get some money for that. I do this for free. But, no. I oftentimes support any small group that is being bombed and torn up by a larger government. And that includes people here. I was not one of those people who supported January 6ers getting thrown in jail. I didn't. There was way too many feds in there starting shit to be able to blame just the January 6ers. You know what I mean? I didn't want them in jail neither. Anytime there's a group trying to fight to survive, I'm on their side. Just saying. And usually it's the underdog. So, yeah. So apparently, I guess they're going to try to just claim that I'm part of a global Hamas network. They're going to claim there's tunnels under my house, I'm sure. So they're dubbing it the HSN. Not sure why. That the authors say is working on overtime to destroy American society. What? The report suggests that these supposed anti-Semitic forces support foreign adversaries while leveraging America's open society to seize control of higher education. Yeah, just, I guess, make it manifest, I guess. They talk about it. Unlike what one might think to report on anti-Semitism, Project Esther speaks dismissively of Jewish concerns, going so far as to attack American Jewish complacency for failing to address the problem. It could be that maybe they just don't see anything wrong with me criticizing the Israeli government and what they're doing. American Jewish complacency. Maybe they're just not Zionists, but whatever, for failing to address the problem. In fact, the Jewish Insider reported that only 2 organizations listed on their task force actually represent any Jews. James Carfano, the leader of the initiative, says, "We really understood the Jewish perspective, but it was important for me to have all these organizations represented. And quite honestly, if they're doing their job and they were being effective, we wouldn't have this problem." Wow. Okay. Damn. So they're considering Jewish people who, I guess, think that a lot of what's going on is wrong as not being real Jews, apparently. Actually represented any Jews. So, wow. Now there's a division between the Jews. Lovely. On closer inspection, it becomes clear that Project Esther isn't about Jews or anti-Semitism. It's about using justified concern over anti-Semitism to turn the power of the federal government into dismantling domestic civil society. Project Esther does the first thing by equating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Well, that's not the same thing at all. It's not. Zionism is an ideology. So it'd be like being against extremism. And anti-Semitism is just hating Jewish people because they're Jewish. And almost nobody does that anymore. That's such an antiquated thing. I'm sure there's some out there, but it's not really much of a thing anymore. But anyway, and attacking some of the leading pro-Palestinian organization movements, including National Students for Justice in Palestine, American Muslims for Palestine, and Jewish Voices for Peace. Yeah, I guess they're the bad guys, huh? 40. While we must remain vigilant to interrogate vigilant to interrogate anti-Semitism wherever it appears, this report goes beyond pushing back against these groups' public argument. It advocates for dismantling their funding structures and applying this approach across the progressive left. But I guarantee you it does not stop at the progressive left. I guarantee it doesn't. This will get backing because of all the fucking Republicans. And yes, I am a member of the Republican Party, although it kind of doesn't feel that way. But I guarantee you, seeing this, they're going to be excited about this. But they have to realize, and I wish they would, that whatever they applaud for today can be used against them tomorrow. Because it wasn't very long ago that the Republican Party was considered completely outlandish, extremist, potential domestic terrorist, all those things. So if they allow this, then anytime an extreme left extreme right, or what is considered extreme right, can also end up finding their funding structures to be dismantled. They will use the same tactics on the right as they did to the left. Do I like leftists? No. But it's always easier to divide and conquer. You figure out who your majority is, find out who's a pain in your ass, and then you go and dismantle one while the other side applauds, and then once that precedent is set, then they're next. The 30-page document urges the federal government to shutter a list of foundations that support pro-Palestinian organizations as part of their work on the issues in the Middle East, including the Open Society Foundation, the Rockefeller Brothers Foundation, now that one I might be curious to read about, and the Tides Foundation. But these groups do much more than support Palestinian causes. They support invaluable work for a host of issues, including climate justice, the separation of church and state, and immigration reform. The report suggests attacking these organizations by taking advantage of Foreign Agents Registration Act. I don't want to hear any more about that, because until they register AIPAC as a foreign agent, which John F. Kennedy tried to do, and then a week later he was killed. Yeah. Or like 2 weeks, I think it was. Because I think they visited, because at the time they were called the American Zionist Committee or some shit like that. They turned into AIPAC later on. They wanted to revamp their look. The Foreign Agents Registration Act and the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organizations Act, normally reserved for going after foreign lobbying and organized crime. They also suggest using counterterrorism, hate speech, and immigration laws to press charges against pro-Palestinian voices. See, this is the slope we're headed for. Because, again, how many times has the right been out there protesting and saying they didn't like something and it was considered terrorism, homegrown terrorism, and hate speech? Find conservative on Facebook and see how many times their shit's hit for hate speech and they get flagged and suspended. Ask them how many times that's happened. I guarantee you'll hear it's been a lot. So the same tactics they're doing here, they're going to do to them. Because they know the left and the right are not going to stand together much. So it'll be easy to take one down and then the other. And then nobody's got any fucking free speech and nobody can protest. It's exactly what's going to happen. It's happening. The whole operation, it says, could be achieved within 12 to 24 months, given that the willing administration occupies. See, this is another reason why I think Trump won. I mean, other than the fact that Kamala Harris is fucking terrible. Honestly, I think she threw the election. I mean, all the times you saw her up there talking, she was rude and made fun of her voters. She did the most half-assed job of campaigning I've ever seen anybody do. I think she lost on purpose so that Trump could win, because they wanted a willing administration occupying the White House to allow this to happen. Everybody freaked out the first time. Oh, Trump's going to take our rights away. And nothing really happened. Now, this time, I'm actually not so sure. I'm a little concerned for this. Now, if she had put up a better campaign and looked like she actually tried, I might have believed it. But everything got set up from the get-go to make sure that we voted for him. And a lot of people did. Even the sides that normally wouldn't have voted for him did. Between him getting shot at, which won a whole lot of people. Even Bill Burr was talking about it. By making it appear like they're addressing anti-Semitism, they can create a smokescreen to attack the funding infrastructure for a variety of progressive causes. Don't think they stop at progressive causes. They won't. Project Esther isn't really for Jews. In other words, it's an attempt to cite anti-Semitism as an excuse to advance Heritage's broader Christian nationalist agenda. One giveaway is that Project Esther's McCarthyistic blueprint completely ignores the most violent manifestations of anti-Semitism, including white nationalism and the Great Replacement theory. This year, neo-Nazis have marched in the capitals of Tennessee and Pennsylvania. Honestly, I think they were feds dressed up. Honestly, I do. While 3 weeks ago, far-right Trump supporters flew swastika flags at a boat parade in Florida. Again, I think those were feds to set this up. Nor does the document give an account of the role hateful anti-immigration rhetoric played in the aspiring attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue and the Unite the Right March in Charlottesville. That was just a fucking mess. Charlottesville was just a fucking mess. Like, I don't know if feds were involved in that one, but that was just a stupid situation. And the attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue. Let me go see about that one. When did that happen? Oh. Really? Why are you going to give us links if we're not allowed to fucking see anything? I can't even tell you when that article came out. Motherfucker. The bait and switch of ignoring far-right anti-Semitism in favor of demonizing pro-Palestinian activism has become common on the right. While crusading against anti-Semitism, Republican politicians traffic in anti-Semitic tropes. In April, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik tweeted, George Soros is trying to fund the downfall of America by buying elections for the radical left politicians and corrupt the next generation to support terror groups. I think George Soros is the least of our fucking problems at the moment. I'm going to be honest. I can assure you, as pro-Palestinian as I am, George Soros is not giving me a paycheck. If he was, I might be able to fix my fucking carport. Or, like, get my transmission fixed in my fucking car. So, whatever. Anyway. The Southern Poverty Law Center has long documented how tax on Soros plays off traditionally anti-Semitic tropes. I don't think because George Soros is Jewish is the problem. I think rich people are just so used to doing what they do. Like, they're so used to having what they want and getting what they want that sometimes you get so desensitized that you have to do crazy shit to feel anything. So sometimes just rich, out-of-touch people are dangerous. I really think that's where it is. I don't care that George Soros is Jewish. The first time I heard him, I didn't even know who the fuck he was. I didn't know what religion he was. I just don't trust rich people who have their hand way too much into politics, even though themselves are not running. That's usually where my fucking problems are. Let's see. Attacks on Soros played off in a traditional anti-Semitic tropes and should be understood as a thinly veiled attack on Jews. See, I think this is equally as silly as the right. It really is. This particular one is. Because, again, I don't give a shit if George Soros is Jewish. I don't give a fuck. Hell, when I was like in my 20s, I dated a guy who was Jewish. He was like an Air Force captain. I don't give a fuck if someone's Jewish. I give zero fucks. Naming the report after Esther, the Jewish heroine who saved the Jews from destruction in ancient Persia, continues her appropriation by the far-right figures as a Christian nationalist paragon. At the rally in late October, hosted by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a prominent Christian Zionist organization, speakers called on the women to act as Esthers by submitting to their husbands to save today's youth. Fuck. I do not think one person should submit more than the other in a couple relationship. In a couple. Like, yeah. If you submit a little to your husband needs to submit a little bit to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a give and take. It should be a fair one. Not just one side submitting to the other. Heritage is betting that many Americans who oppose Project 2025 itself won't know what to make of a proposal to attack anti-Semitism. Well, I see it for the propaganda piece it is. As civil society begins to strategize on a response to the coming Trump administration, it's important to see Project Esther for what it is, an extension of Project 2025 that would assault social justice and advance Christian supremacy. This person does take their shit a little far, but there is truth in what they're saying. I do not feel that, verbally attacking George Soros is an attack on Jews. Because first off, Jews are not a monolith. Not all Jewish people agree on things, which is what they kind of bring up when they mention here when they were talking about shit not being, real Jews. The same kind of silliness. But I do think Project Esther is something to worry about. Yes. Let's just hope they give us a chance to vote on it instead of just implementing it without asking us. Oh, and the shit I saw on Twitter today. Get over here real quick. Alright, hold on. There is some new Uranus. The Europeans call it Uranus to avoid the giggles. Research in the news. That would be cool. Judaism is a religion. I don't subscribe to them being an ethnic group. Well, how can you say Jews are a race? They are distinct in appearance. They're not necessarily distinct in appearance because you have some that look like they're from the Middle East. You have some that have red hair and pale skin. You have, if you're referring to the nose, you will notice that a lot of people in Greece and Rome area have a similar nose. So you can't look at someone and go, yeah, they 100% look Jewish. You know what I mean? It's not true. If you mean Israelis or Middle Eastern, maybe, but Judaism is a religion. Yeah. In fact, as silly as it sounds, if I decided I wanted to convert to Judaism and do the whole thing you go through to, I guess, convert, Israel says that I would be welcome to be there, that I would be considered one of theirs, and that typically that's Eastern European look. That look is a lot of times people in Eastern Europe. I've seen them with pale skin, arched noses, and they're not always Jewish. But that look that you're talking about is, yeah, okay. Netanyahu and most of his buddies are European in origin. Yes, he is Polish. His dad came from Poland, and actually Netanyahu went to college in New Jersey, I believe. Those are Jewish descendants. All right, let's be nice now. Let's not get too feisty. And a religion. Okay, let's calm down. That's like saying all Muslim people have a certain look, when I've seen plenty of Muslims converts, and they can be any race, like any genetic profile. But either way, let's not be snippy, y'all. Let's try to be nice about it. They have Russian Jewish, German Jewish, Middle Eastern, all sorts. Well, then, yeah, that's more of you're classifying as more of a race, not a religion, though. Hello, Frosty Broccoli. Meow, meow. How are you? People are sympathetic, they say, but only the race of white, African, and Mongolian, Native American, Aboriginal. Okay. Let's not be too feisty. Come on. But the UN thinks it's cruel, so now everyone is an ethnic group. We they. Hey, number 2 with fries. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good today. Hispanic to me is no real meaning other than your relative came from Spain or Portugal, right? The Native American black. In Germanic, the people ask all the time if I'm Jewish. All right. Anyway, so I saw some crazy shit on Twitter, so I figured I'd share it with you. Let me see. Is it this one? Nope. Is it that one? Don't think so. We already saw this one. Where is that one I saw? Nope. I gotta figure out where it went. Oh, here it is. Okay. So supposedly this happened in Amsterdam. I say supposedly because I wasn't actually there. But if you see right here, let me make this a little bigger. This is the roof of a car. So somebody is got out of the car door and is filming, I guess, with their hand rested on the roof of the car. So let me back it up a smidge. So there's a person who just ran from there. And it appears it blew a hole in the glass, or the hole in the glass might have been there before. But make all right. So I guess all right. So it looks like the hole in the glass was already there. But what makes me wonder is how the person knew to stop the car, get out, and film that at that very moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering what led up to it. Oh, there's more shit going on. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's doing that. Some of the people in the audience are saying the Zionists don't like getting the asses kicked the other day. Wouldn't it be surprised it's retaliation? Someone goes Israeli false flag. They want to divide Europe. Someone goes it's being done by Moroccans. That's what they're claiming. But again, I don't know. I don't know the language of the person who was speaking while the camera was going. I don't know. Talk of Zionists push propaganda. Someone goes no credible sources. I see. Yeah, because I mean, all we see is like people running around doing this. We can't see who it is. So yes, I agree. But nonetheless, it's some shenanigans going on, obviously. I would not want to be in that train car when that happened. That would fucking suck. I'd be having a tinnitus attack, man. My ears would be going nuts. Someone goes, Amsterdam has a right to defend itself. Right? Someone goes, provoked by Mossad. So yeah, the comments are interesting. But yeah, I thought I would show you that. And did I want to show you anything else? We already looked at this. What is this? Oh, this fucking shit. So this is Representative Dan Crenshaw, who I believe is in Texas. It says America would not be here without Israel. Motherfucker, do you not know how to math? Sir. America became officially America in 1776. Israel wasn't officially Israel until 1948. So to say America wouldn't be here without Israel is probably the most stupid boot-licking fucking shit I've seen in a while. Like, and these are probably the people who want to take over the education system for everybody. Remember, kids, we wouldn't be here without Israel. No, these assholes wouldn't be in office without Israel. That's what that fucking is. Because I fucking despise this man so much. I don't understand how men like him, Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and Romney constantly get reelected. I hear that, brother. Someone goes, I'm pretty sure America was founded long before 1947. Yeah, no fucking joke. And this guy's a veteran. Like, if he thinks Israel's so great, I think he should just leave his office and go be a representative over there in the Knesset or some shit. The fact that he says America would not be here, Israel would not be here without America and Britain, and that's straight up facts. Ever since like 1917, when Israel starting to get a foothold into the whole mess, like it was Britain and America. So flip that around. Israel would not be here without America. And that's straight up facts. You can look in any history book, at least until they start censoring the history books. But the fucking audacity of this guy. Like, someone should send him a middle finger for Veterans Day, because he's a fucking joke. The only time I've ever liked this guy is when he was being funny on Saturday Night Live like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. So fuck this guy. specifically. I guess I'd be more patriotic because he fucking won't be, obviously. Oh, and I had this article up because there was an article running around after this shit happening in Amsterdam claiming that some of the Israelis were kidnapped in Hamas style by Moroccans in Amsterdam. And they had to, and the Jerusalem Post had to come out and be like, no, they've all been found. None, like right here, no Israelis were abducted. None were abducted. But they were trying to put that out there. In fact, Netanyahu, all right, so I don't know how up you are under 1930s Germany history, but it was something called the Crystal Knock, or the Crystal, the Night of the Broken Glass is what it translates to. And it was supposed to be, and like I said, I wasn't there, but it was supposed to be basically anti-Semitic people throwing rocks and stuff through store windows and scaring Jewish store owners and stuff. That was what the Crystal Night, or the Night of the Broken Glass, was supposed to be. Anyway, but Netanyahu compared the skirmish between Moroccans and Israeli football fans. And we've all seen what happens with football fans in Europe. They're always getting in fights anyway. But yeah, he was comparing that as an anti-Semitic attack and compared it to the Night of the Broken Glass that was done by the Nazis. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking shitting me. A couple of guys got their asses kicked. That's what happened. That does not translate to 1930s Germany by any stretch of the imagination. But I thought I'd get that off my chest too. All right. All right. Look up Israel, Johnny Somali. Can I copy and paste from here? That would be cool. No, I cannot. All right. Let me go look up. Oh, there we go. Where's the mouse? Here it is. All right, let's see. YouTuber Johnny Somali may face 10 years in jail over his kissing controversy? The fuck did he kiss? In South Korea. Oh, for fuck's sake. Johnny Somali, a 24-year-old American YouTuber known as Ramzi Khalid Ismail, is currently facing serious legal challenges or consequences in South Korea. His actions have sparked widespread outrage and condemnation both domestically and internationally. The incident took place in Changdong History and Culture Park in Seoul. The kissing that outraged South Korea, the primary issue stems from Somali's disrespectful behavior toward a historical statue. Oh, okay. And the statue is known as the Statue of Peace, commemorates the comfort women. Korean women were forced into sexual slavery by the Japanese military during World War II. The statue honors the tens of thousands of young women who were subjected to sexual slavery by the Japanese military during the Korean occupation of 1910 to 1945. Okay. Somali was seen kissing and twerking in front of the statue in an act that deeply offended many Koreans. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that episode of the Orville when they went to that planet and the guy was getting up there and dancing with the statue trying to be funny, and it was one of those societies that could downvote the shit out of you. That's what it reminds me of. What in the fuck? That's so fucking bizarre. Let's see. Without the U.S., modern Israel would not exist. Exactly. The Ottoman Empire. Yeah, the Brits took it away from the Ottoman Empire, and then, like everything that the British touch, it would become a mess. Israel would not be here if not for the German mustache man. Now, they were getting started long before, because the mustache man you speak of was only a fairly young, well, I don't know how young, but reasonably young, basically grunt man, I think, in World War One, when this was getting started. They were already trying to get Israel going before Mustache Man was killing people, because he didn't start going on a whole rampage till 1938. They started actually rounding people up and making the camps. I actually had to go and look at the Jewish library. I think I used a Jewish virtual library here. Oh, this is a different thing I was looking up, but yeah. So he came to power in 1933, and that's when they did the Havara Agreement, heading people over to Palestine. And he didn't start, doing the whole rounding people up to around 1938 officially, 37 or 38. So it was quite a few years. So the Zionists were just doing Zionist shit. The objective of World War I was to break up the Ottoman Empire. It's amazing what happens when somebody just shoots Ferdinand of Austria, and shit just goes to mess. World War II was to thrust it upon the earth and convince the people it was necessary, right? Nothing will compare to the atrocities of World War II. I think they're trying for it, though. They like to compare everything to that because it gives shock value. The guy is a scumbag. Agreed. This is his latest outrage. He made people mad in Israel and Japan. He did it in Japan? Oh, I'm okay. Wait, are you talking about Somali? That guy instead? The Palestinian Mandate controlled by Britain was pre-World War II. Yes. After Zionism began, we were ethnically cleansing villages, but after World War I and the Balfour Declaration, they weren't descending by numbers into Palestine. They needed a catalyst.
No, I thought I heard you say wholesome.
The catalyst that was the German mustache man. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Somalia. All right. I just wanted to make sure because I was kind of, with the conversation going on, I thought this was in reference to, and plus it mentioned Israel. I thought it was, yeah, I was confused on who we were talking about for a minute. So my bad on that. But yeah. Anyway, I think I vented and got everything. I think we covered a lot. Oh wait, hold on. A tsunami of anti-Semitism. What? Dozens arrested for anti-Semitic attacks in Amsterdam. You know what? Fuck it. Let's jump in on this one. I'm sure they're gonna compare it to that thing I was telling you about. Oh shit! Hold on. Once you back into the thing, it just kind of. Let me see if I can find that article again. I guess not. Shit. I hate when it does that and you kind of lose the article. Maybe if I refresh, I'll get it back. What? Demonstrators with... I find this very unlikely. I feel like this might be some bullshit here because this flag is illegal in this country of Germany and Amsterdam. I believe they're illegal in both places. There would be no place they would be able to buy that. And I don't imagine anybody would let them into the country with it. So that is why I feel like it might be some kind of false flaggy type bullshit right here to get people stirred up. You can almost be certain of it. Actually, I don't know, did I? Let me check. I think I sent something, an article to someone. Let me go check it real quick. Because I was going to talk about the thing that happened in Amsterdam. Actually, I have it on my phone. I will just send it to like Messenger or something so I can pull it up on the desktop. So give me a second. Share. Because they're saying, oh, it's anti-Semitic attacks and all this shit. But I will show you where some people in Amsterdam say differently. All right, I'll download that. That's coming up as a very strange file. Present screen. Entire screen. All right. So, how do I zoom in on this? Oh, here we go. All right. Jewish organizations based in Amsterdam, Rav, blames the Zionist Israeli hooligans for what happened in Amsterdam. Why is the mainstream media not listening to these native Jews? The city of Amsterdam deserves better. This is their name on social media, so you'll be able to go see it. Strongly condemns the Amsterdam police handling of recent events involving football fans over 2 consecutive nights in the city. We are deeply concerned that instead of restraining the groups who caused the disturbance in the city, including tearing down Palestinian flags from private residences and engaging in racist chanting, the police allowed the situation to escalate into widespread street violence. It is troubling that arrests were selective, primarily targeting local Moroccan youth who confronted these groups, while Maccabi fans who initiated the provocations faced no consequences. And in fact, they were actually, Netanyahu was like, "Oh no, it's the night of the broken glass," and sent planes to go get the Israelis back who had started this and get them out of there. And then they sent Mossad. A few articles had said that. The visiting fans engaged in provocative behavior, destroying private property, intimidating passersby, carrying flares, gathering in the city center, and directing inflammatory, racist, and violent chants at locals. Many were recently discharged soldiers active in the genocide in Gaza. Their conduct at the football match itself was also more controversial, as they refused to observe the minute of silence for Valencia flood victims. So yeah, apparently there was a bad storm and a bunch of flood victims died. And so they were having a moment of silence, and the Israeli football fans were interrupting that moment of silence. We believe that more appropriate police intervention against the initial disturbance by the Maccabi football players, combined with the clear stance from the city mobilizing to disperse gatherings where violent, racist, Islamophobic, and homophobic things were being shouted. So, yeah, so they're going, it was an anti-Semitic attack. They were attacked because they were Jewish. The fuck they were. Because the Jewish people in Amsterdam, who were actually there, say a hell of a lot different. So, yeah, when they're up there trying to get sympathy and like, they can't even go to other countries and be safe. It's because they do this. You know? If any of us went to another country and acted like this, we'd be in trouble. It's not okay for one group to act like this. If you go to a country, behave yourself. Don't embarrass yourself for the country you come from. It's not hard. And like I said, it's EREV, and then the second word is RAV. That is the group's name. So you can look it up. This looks like Instagram right here. So, but I'm sure they have like Twitter as well. So yeah, you can look that up and see what they have to say yourself. You don't just have to trust moi. So this is my screenshot from the other day at 4 a.m. because I have trouble sleeping, clearly. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to share that bit with you because, you know, he was like, oh, they're being so mean to us. Like, no. If I went to another country and disrespected their moment of silence, started tearing shit off people's houses, they would kick the shit out of me too. It was just... but the few I've met were extremely charming. Right? The few I've met were also very charming and nice. Yes, I agree. That's why I believe sometimes it's just entitled Zionist behavior. You know, it's not just Jewish people. Like, Jewish people themselves are fine. I have no problem with anybody of any religion. I don't care if you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian. It's how you act. That's where my problem is at. And like I said, Zionism is an ideology. If someone came up and shook hands and said, hi, I'm a liberal, or I'm an extreme leftist, I'd be like, oh, fuck. And that's how I feel if someone comes up and says, I'm a Zionist. I'm like, oh, fuck. You're telling me your political ideology. You know, that's what I'm hearing. But if someone was like, hi, I'm Catholic. Hi, I'm Jewish. I'd be like, hey, well, how's it going? How you doing? Like, wouldn't bother me any. I don't care. But anyway, all right. So we got the Amsterdam silliness out of the way. For some reason, I'm still wondering why the hell Israel's going to be sending a air defense system to Germany, God only knows what stupid shit they got planned for 2025. Mark your calendars, folks. Something stupid's coming. More stupid shit is coming. Maybe they're going to ethnically cleanse the Muslims out of Germany. Who knows? Germany loves getting into anything ethnic cleansing. It's like their fetish, I think. I don't know. But anyway, I love all of y'all. It's been real. Y'all been awesome. And going on an hour and 44 minutes. Y'all are patient as hell, too. Love y'all. Mwah. Oh, wait, let me go through and say hello to everyone. So, like, hugs to Ancient One, hugs to Curtis YZ, hugs to Frosty Broccoli, Putin's cat. Well, y'all talked quite a bit right there. Hugs to Number 2 with Fries. Well, there was a lot of back and forth in that part. Hugs to Connie Cleary and to Miss Frosty. Let's see. Oh, hugs to Digital Pollution, even though he went to bed. Thank God covered Putin cat. Yeah, y'all talked a lot in that middle part, so I was making sure. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get everybody, I'm super sorry. I wasn't trying to ignore you, I promise. Anyway, I love y'all so much. Y'all are super fabulous in like every way possible. Lots of hugs, and I will, if I can find a decent, like something decent and new to play for y'all, I'll try to get a movie on tomorrow. It'll probably be another couple of days before I can build up enough headlines. Unless some crazy shit goes on, then yeah. Either way, if I go live, I'll try to have it around 7-ish. Mwah.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasing.